Hello, friends. Nice talking to you again. Today, another interesting topic, which I personally lived through this week and I experienced it, and I wanted to give you more insights about karma retribution. You hear about this a lot in religion, in the kind of mental stuff, all of that mindset thing where if you give, you get. If you give, you get. And what I wanted to talk about is this one experience that I had this week, which was this old lady who had this, I don't know how is it called, like the thing that you hold on when you walk, but it has like these wheels. So it's not a wheelchair, but you're still walking. You just have like this helper. And yeah, she was on the train station. I was about to go into the train before it came. And the interesting thing was, Switzerland is a place where um, everything is very closed. People are not really out here talking to you, giving you some kind of smile or whatever. It's very close. People are not so open with you. So it's special when things like this, what I'm about to tell you, is happen here in Switzerland. Germany is, I think, even worse when it comes to this, but Switzerland is very bad too. I was on the train station and I had like to sneeze, and I was like, okay, crazy. Sneeze is coming. I sneezed, and the only person that said bless you was that old woman. There were like 50 people or something on the train station, and she was one. She was so far away. It was so interesting, and she just screamed bless you, you know. I smiled. I looked back. I smiled, like I said thank you. And then I went on, get into the train. I don't know if she came into the train with me too. I didn't check or something. But the special thing is, I was about 3 or 4 hours away. So when I came back, from Zurich, in that case, while I wanted to go out on the station that I needed to go out, I saw her, and she didn't recognize me, but I recognized her, and she was in the same train as me while I was going back. So we walk out the train. I tap her on the shoulder. She looks at me, starts smiling. I start smiling, and I said to her, "You were the lady that said bless you before, right?" And she was so happy, and I was like, "See, everything comes back again. So thank you very much." And she says, "Yeah, always," and all of that, whatever. So I don't know how deep she took it, but I took it very deep, because in that scenario, or in that situation, I just realized again the little things, all of the things that you do. Let it be work, learning, reading, whatever. Everything you do sometimes in your life will come back to you in a way that you can't imagine. You can't really think about it. So let's say you're wasting 2 hours of your day with doom scrolling. Now you think this is not going, you're not thinking about a lot about the future, whatever. So you don't really have like this thought about it. But if you're being honest with yourself, this 2 hours that you really wasted right now, one day when you lay in bed and it's your last second or last minutes, you're gonna think about all of the hours you spent on the phone, and or like just distracted, that you wasted. What are you going to think about? What thoughts are you going to have? And in that scenario, you're gonna have negative thoughts, I believe, because it's wasted time. So it's gonna come back to you very negatively, because you're doing a negative thing. You're wasting your time, that your precious time that you get. So you will get a negative return. But if you do something positive, as the woman did, even if it's the most little thing on earth, this is going to come back to you somehow. And I like to call it karma retribution, because like karma exists, it is real. So if you do something bad is going to happen to you. And if you do something good is going to happen to you. Now let it Now, I don't know when it's going to happen, nobody knows this. You don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow or in a few hours when you go out to train, but it's going to happen. So let's analyze this a little bit further. What does karma retribution mean for you and all of the things that you're going to achieve in the future? So if you want to be successful in any kind of realm, in any kind of thing that you're doing, let it be school, business, work, your job, like corporate, whatever, helping, giving out value, being there, being the helpful one, bringing results, performance, good experiences will somehow, pay itself out. So let's say, for example, you're gonna have an exam next week. I always like to talk about this to the students, because people that study don't really have the opportunity, I believe, to really live the situation through that you are going to have when you're in the workspace, because you're always in school. So that's why I'm going a lot of times I take like this school examples. So let's say you're gonna have an exam next week and you're not learning, and then in the last day you're trying to learn something and nothing comes into your mind. So the next day you're gonna go to the exam, you can't write anything because you didn't learn, and what comes back is a very bad grade. So karma retribution, right? You had 1 week, you had 1 full week where you thought about this exam, didn't learn. Well, this is the result out of it. And the same goes at the other way around, You knew about the exam, you took in the time, put in like 1-2 hours every day. Now the exam was good. So it's always situation, result, or like action, reaction, or karma retribution. And when you think about life this way, nothing is going to stop you of becoming successful, because you're always going to know that if I do something right now, somewhere or somewhen in the future, it's going to pay back. And if that means you have to sit at your PC or your laptop for 5 hours every single evening and do something like build a funnel, like build creatives, learn any kind of skill, whatever, then it's so be it, This is going to pay out somehow, somewhen. Now, how can we, leverage that? How can we say, all right, how can I get the most out of everything I do? Well, you always have to look at it that way. So if you do anything, if you go out the house and you get a situation where you can do something good, go do it, because the result out of that, that you did good, will be something good for you. So let's say you're out there and you see a person who is begging for money. And I'm not talking about the Switzerland type of money thing where people go out and, these schemes that are out here, but like genuine sick person that doesn't have the availability or like doesn't have the health to go out there and work. And that person needs money and he's begging for it, or the person is begging for it. So you can go to him, give him the money, and just, walk on and don't even think about it. But if you go out there thinking, all right, the only reason why I'm helping this person is because first, God will give it back to me. So you're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for a bigger purpose. And if it's the universe or whatever you're like believe in it is, then so be it. But you're always thinking about something bigger than you, and you do something for that bigger thing. So in my case, it would be God. So I would go up there and I would just have the thoughts, I'm doing this for the sake of Allah, because He's going to give it to me somehow back, and maybe even bigger. So I'm not going there and telling myself like, yeah, I'm going to do this because I'm going to feel better. Because yes, maybe you feel better, but it's money out your pocket, So if you have like these thoughts, these like human thoughts, when you stay in the human level, not the divine, not the bigger and the higher, you're going to have these second thoughts and third thoughts and fourth thoughts, which are not going to be pure, And if it's not pure, how should you get it back? How should you get a situation, or how should you get the possibility to get something good back if the intention, the pure intention of your heart wasn't good? So you're gonna, let's talk about this scenario. You go to that person, you have these second thoughts because you're not really believing in anything higher or whatever, and you give it to the person, then you walk on. The person said thank you, you walk on. And then you're thinking about, wait, did I give too much or whatever? And then something in the future, 1 or 2 years like in the future, happens. And it looks very positive because, wow, I don't know, I made a bunch of money. Or whatever, you make $10,000 with something. And it comes out that it's not your money. And it's maybe whatever. So you get something very positive, but at the back end of all of that positive thing that is coming, there are different intentions behind. Because why? You had different intentions when you did the good thing. So everything you do should be coming out of a pure state, out of a state where you think fully that you're fully aware that this is something I want to do because it's something good and I don't have any second thoughts about it. And if you live that life that way, karma and retribution will be so crazy giving you back things. It's incredible. Without no second thoughts, you're going to help that granny walk across the street. Without no second thoughts, you're going to build a system for a guy for free just because he asked you for it. And then in the next fucking 6 months, he's going to hire you as his automator or for his team or whatever, and you got a new job. So if you do things with a pure heart, with a pure intention, things are going to come back so clean that stuff will feel unreal. And yeah, so always work as a kind of pure state. So you always want to think about that thing deeper than just what you're doing. So if you're helping a granny, don't just think about I'll help the granny. Think about I just helped a person that was created just as me. And I didn't have the obligation, but my heart told me that I have to do it. If you become this deep in life with everything, people are going to call you crazy. Because why become so deep? Why become so in touch with everything? Why always take it a step further? The only reason why is because that's how karma retribution will help you the most. That's how God will help you the most. Universe, whatever, will give you the most benefit out of it. Because if you get with a pure heart and you are very intentional with everything you do, this is my intention right now. I want to do this because of that, and that. Just imagine how things are going to come. Just imagine how good and how positive things are going to come. So if you want to change something in your life, change that. Be more pure about things, be more intentional about things, and see how karma retribution will get you everything back 100 times, 500 times, whatever. Yeah, this is my take on karma retribution and my take on action reaction. I want to get into detail a little bit more, but this will be something in the future. In the next few weeks, I'm gonna have a lot of guests coming. A lot of them will be English speaking, so it's gonna be interesting episodes. But a lot of them will be Swiss and German speaking, so it's gonna be very interesting too, but just in German. So follow the podcast, whatever, to get more of this kind of episodes. I never talked about it, it's the 55th or 56th episode, and I never really mentioned that. But if you're a Swiss German or you're a German guy, go and check out the very old episodes where I started off. The quality was trash, the mic was trash, but I always talked about so valuable things for young guys in the development stage. So go check that out, see if you find something for yourself. And the English talking people, check out the most new, the most fresh episodes. They're always in English. And yeah, Thank you very much for listening. This is Rinor. This was the Honesty Podcast, and we'll hear you next time. Thank you.